A recent report by Bankrate revealed that the number of U.S. adults carrying credit card debt from one month to the next has increased to 35% from 29% within the past year. Additionally, 46% of credit card holders are indebted now. That number used to be 39%. What makes it worse is 43% of those who are indebted don't even know what the interest rates of their debt are. Taking the subject of debt seriously is now more important than ever. How much do you know about your debts? Do you know your interest rates and what the implications mean? If you're one of the 43% that need some help to make sense of your debts, then this is the video for you. This lack of awareness could lead to a vicious cycle of debt if not managed carefully. On average, credit card interest rates are 20.04% according to creditcards.com, making it even more important for you to keep track of your balances and interest rates to avoid getting into a deep financial hole. In this video, everything you need to know about the risks and solutions to household and personal debts would be discussed. It's important to watch until the end so you don't miss anything. First, let us try and understand what's going on. Why is debt on the rise? According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the total amount of debt owed by American households was over $16.51 trillion at the end of Q3 last year. Though the bulk of this debt is understandably from mortgage payments, closely followed by student loans and car loans, credit card debt, which comes fourth on the list, is where there is a growing concern. Not only is this section of debts growing, it's even more concerning that the interest rates are also increasing. This is one of the most costly debts to incur. It does not make much sense that Americans are choosing to take out more credit card debts. This is a new trend of using credit cards as a primary means of payment and not just for emergencies. This is related to the high inflation rates, which is also a result of the increasing cost of commodities and services. Recent data from the Federal Reserve shows that credit card balances have jumped 15% year on year, while personal savings sank to near an all-time low. To compound this problem, repayments are also in decline. As the Fed interest rates go up, so will credit card interest rates. Currently, the Fed rate is at 4.5%, but it's likely to go beyond 5% this year. This could send the annual percentage rate, or APR, which is already at an all-time high of 19.6%, to go even further. It's worth noting that some issuers are already charging rates much higher than 20%. To avoid getting trapped on the web of debts this could put you in, here are some tips to help you out. The first thing you need to do is boost your emergency fund. It's been discovered that most people get into debt because of emergencies. When you don't have an emergency fund planned out, you'll be forced to use your credit card. An emergency fund would act as a safety net against unforeseen expenses, and it's therefore risky not to have one planned out. Experts recommend saving 3 to 6 months of your average living expenses. This would help you handle situations such as medical emergencies, job loss, or urgent bill payments. You can achieve this by setting aside part of your wage or salary, and it's never too late to start. Sometimes you may need to review how much you're putting aside, and it's always better to aim to save more because of the increasing cost of living. If you're unable to increase the amount you're saving, then you may need to take the next point seriously. Number 2, increase your income. This seems like a no-brainer. Of course, everybody wants to earn more, but is everybody ready to do more? What we're saying here is don't depend on your salary alone. You need to ask yourself, how can I make more money? The easiest way to do this is to explore investments that would give you a passive income. And if you do not have enough money to invest, you should consider some side hustles besides your regular employment. Sometimes you may have to ask for a raise if you believe you're not being paid enough. If getting a pay raise is impossible and you're not earning enough to cover your cost of living, then it could be time to consider getting another job. Number 3, a debt management plan. Debt is not a bad thing. The important thing is managing it properly. So if you're already in debt, you should be looking at proper debt management. The best way to go about this is to seek out help from a debt management program. There are programs that are free of charge, and there is a lot you stand to benefit from such a program. One is the counseling on how to better manage your finances, but there's more. In a debt management program, the credit counseling agency can step in to help negotiate better interest rates for your existing debts. That's right, your debts can be renegotiated. Also, you can consolidate your debt and create a personalized payment plan that fits your budget. Your repayments would be routed through the agency, which would then distribute them to your creditors. Debt management should be one of the first things you try to get so you can help lower your monthly payments, negotiate for lower interest rates, and simplify the process of paying off your debt. Remember to only go for a nonprofit program, because a professional consultant may charge you a lot, costing you more money. In case you have multiple debts with high interest rates, but you also have a steady income from which you can make monthly payments, this strategy could be the best thing you do. Number 4. Cut down expenses. Cutting your expenses is the most fundamental and yet important thing you can do. The aim here is to reduce your spending and free up money to pay off credit card debt. You would be surprised how much you can free up from expenses that are not important. To start, you may have to first record your spending. Know how you're spending your money first. Some expenses you should be reviewing are subscriptions and the cost of eating out. These can be putting a huge hole in your pocket. Consider cheaper alternatives if you must eat out, and for subscriptions, do you really need the ones you have, or can you even go for cheaper alternatives? Spending a lot of money doesn't always mean having a better experience, at least not at the expense of getting into debt. Number 5. Consolidating your loans. Consolidating your loans means packaging several loans together so it becomes easier for you to manage. There are several ways of achieving this. One is with the use of a 0% balance transfer card. Transferring your high-interest credit card debt to a card with a low or 0% interest rate for a specified period of time, typically 12 to 21 months, is possible with a zero-balance transfer card. Another trick is with the use of a personal loan. Now don't get confused, you may be wondering how you can use a loan to cancel another loan. And it's very simple. The interest rates on credit cards are usually one of the highest, which makes repayment more expensive. So taking a personal loan with a very low interest rate to pay off your credit card loan may be your best bet toward a quick resolution. Now you have a new loan, but this time the interest rates are much lower and can be paid out over a period, perhaps monthly. While these options are sure to take the stress off you, you still need to be careful with the terms and conditions of your creditor. It's also important to note that repayments should still be taken seriously even though your interest is now lower. Number 6. Prioritize payments. Not all debts are equal. For one, interest rates and terms can vary widely. It's therefore important to prioritize which debts to pay first. Reasonably, the debts with the highest interest rates are first. By doing this, you can reduce the amount of interest you pay over time and get out of debt faster. Additionally, it's important to make at least the minimum payments on all your debts to avoid late fees and potential damage to your credit score. Number 7. Negotiate with your creditor. Negotiating with creditors is a strategy for reducing the amount of debt you owe by directly communicating with your creditors to request lower interest rates or a more favorable payment term. This strategy can be especially effective for those with multiple debts with high interest rates and who may not be able to make their monthly payments. Here's how you can successfully negotiate with creditors. Reach out by calling or writing to your creditor, and be polite and professional in your communication. It's important to build rapport and maintain a friendly tone throughout the negotiation process. You have to present your case professionally. Explain your financial situation and why you're unable to make your current payments. Provide evidence of your income and expenses to show that you are struggling to make ends meet. Then offer a plan. Propose a new payment plan that you can realistically afford, and be prepared to make the new payments. Show that you are committed to paying your debt, but need more manageable terms. If a creditor agrees to negotiate, make sure you understand the terms of the agreement. Ask for everything in writing and read it carefully before signing. It's important to note that negotiating with creditors does not always have a positive impact on your credit score, but it can result in lower monthly payments, reduced interest rates, or a more manageable payment plan. Not all creditors will agree to negotiate, so be prepared to explore other options if necessary. And there you have it. These are practical steps you can take to deal with your debts, even as interest rates continue to rise. If you've learned a lot from this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.